and a really fabulous support group that I learned so much from, and I really just kind of tried to learn as much as I could at that time about different curriculums. I think that there's so many fabulous things, and I think you really have to choose for your child what works best for them, and I think it's trial and error, and I really had great mentors who just encouraged me that I shouldn't feel the pressure to to do one thing or another. And we have actually kind of stuck to one curriculum for the last few years, and that would be Accelerated Christian Education, which is Lighthouse Christian Academy, and it works because of our travel schedule, and sometimes we don't always have access to computer, connection, and doing it online. I would think it would for my older boys, online stuff is just fabulous, but for them this has been great because it works with our schedule for the most part, and being able to be flexible in our time, and they've been wonderful. We have a super tremendous support system through Lighthouse Christian Academy that has just walked with us through thick and thin.
Well, it's so nice. We've received a lot of emails where people thank the Jonas brothers for being such good role models. So you must be very proud of that. Why do you think they're such good kids? What's your secret?
Well, you really have gotten emails? That's really encouraging. Wow.
A lot of them. They said it's so nice to have good role models.
Well, I know that as a mom of, children, period. My sons are growing older, but boy, I always looking for good role models for them, and always careful about, who they listen to musically and what kind of television programs that they listen to and or watched. And I know it's really challenging for we parents to find good role models, and I think that that's just kind of who we are, as strong Christian family, and knowing that people are always watching your actions and what you do, and it's important. I mean, they're not perfect by any stretch. They make mistakes, and their lives are really out there for people to kind of scrutinize and see. So every move they make is very, very visual, and that's hard sometimes, because their mistakes are out there for everyone to see. But I know that, I definitely am proud of them for being good role models, and they want to be positive. They want to do positive things. They want to be an encouragement to other people. And I don't know if I have a secret other than just really just trying to do the right thing, all the time, doing what's right, and being faithful.
Can you tell us a little-known story about each of the boys?
Oh, boy. I don't know if I have anything little-known.
Something fun so our audience feels special, something that, now they can say, ooh, I heard this on the homeschooling interview that nobody else knows.
Right. I have had to share so many things about them. I always forget what I've shared and what I haven't shared, especially about each one individually. They maybe I can relate it to what they're doing currently. Let me come back to that one.
Okay, we'll come back to that one. How has the boys' career affected your family life? And what advice do you have for other parents who may have aspiring singers or actors of their own?
It's a great question. I think it's so important with your children and their own, whatever their individual talents are, to allow it to, you're created as a family, and we're not created with great talents and gifts to split us up. I think that was a really important thing for us as a family, that even though they have these abilities, we didn't want it to separate us or make us not be able to be together. So we really made some really hard choices to sacrifice some things to always work together as a family, to be able to travel together. So I think that parents that have talented children sometimes don't know what means to help them, and I think it's really valuable to find out, talk to other people and encourage them to be a part of any kind of musical group or drama team or whatever they can, whether it's at church or in your community or in other homeschooling groups. I have wonderful friends that are homeschoolers that have their children involved in all kinds of homeschooling drama teams and dance teams and music teams, sports, athletic teams, and just think it's really important to just really do all that you can to help balance that out for the children. You have to think about their future and in their life, what they'll need in life. They are going to grow up and be adults, and they need to have those skills at some point.
What do you think are the biggest advantages of homeschooling?
Oh, I think everything's an advantage when you homeschool. I think you have control what to really help your children learn what's important, what's really something that's educational. My husband had a great example one time when our kids were in a short stint in our life when we were in transition. They were in a regular public school system, and my husband had asked them a question about something, and they didn't have any kind of thoughts or ideas as it related to something within the family realm. And then he asked them about the rainforest, and they went off for 10, 20 minutes, and he was so amazed at how much time was spent on that subject in a public school setting. Not that subject is not important, it's just that there was something else that was kind of important that year, and it wasn't being attended to, and that I think it's so valuable to be able to know, to help your kids learn real history, real things that matter. And I think that the ability to be able to be flexible and learn things. Like, for instance, I think it's great that we could take our kids to a midnight screening of the 3D movie because we homeschool and we can sleep in till 10 o'clock. That was the best thing for us with kids working on Broadway and working in this industry, that homeschooling gave us the freedom to be able to get in at late nights hours and be able to get out of the proper rest we needed and do school in a timely fashion and still have everything in balance.
What do you think are the disadvantages of homeschooling?
I think we are fighting some laws in our country right now that are making things hard, and the question, I think the constant criticism and scrutiny that people have out there, and I know all you homeschoolers probably go through that same thing. People think your kids aren't well socialized, and that they're missing out on so many different things. But I would have to, I think it's more about opinions that we have to fight against.
Do the brothers ever not feel like doing their schoolwork? And
how do you of course. Right? Every mom's shaking their head. Yes, I know. What do? Just pull your hair out of your head. I don't know. No, you go to places like homeschooling.com and get encouragement on how to encourage them to do their math or do their science. Oh, you have to find creative ways to make it happen. I've loved being a student of my children and learning what makes them tick, learning how to help this one achieve, skills in math differently than this one. And I, we've hired tutors sometimes when necessary. What a freedom that was for me when I realized I could actually allow other people to help in the homeschooling process. I thought, how am I going to do this geometry? I don't know this anymore. And I was able to locate a fabulous tutor who just made, my son feel all the more, accomplished. And what a difference it made in his whole attitude, Do
the boys ever get to kick back and hang with their friends? And if so, what do they do?
They really work very, very hard. And we've tried to help them learn how to enjoy life, and enjoy what they do, even if it's work. And they do have the last 2 years have been very, very, very difficult to have very much free time. But we do try to make sure that they get some. Otherwise, they're going to go crazy, So they definitely get some time to relax with their friends. And it's all about the time frame. Do they have an hour to spend, or do they have 10 hours? So they love to play golf. They love to play wiffle ball. Like, I'm currently calling you from the set of their television show, and they have a break, and they went outside and set up a wiffle ball, and they're playing wiffle ball, with some of the other members of their cast, and it's a lot of fun for them.
What are the boys' favorite subjects?
Oh, I would say probably for each one different. Like Kevin loves literature, and he loved Shakespeare and he also loved etymology, which was amazing. He loved, and he studied Latin, and he loved that so much. My husband and I really we had disagreed on whether he should take Latin, and he wanted him to take Spanish. And I said, he has a passion to want to do Latin. Let's let him do that. And boy, I saw that with that passion, he just excelled at it. And that helped me learn something too, about my homeschooler. Frankie, our little one's in love with science. It's just one of his favorite activities. Nicholas loves English. And Joseph, I don't know that he had any favorite.
Do any of the brothers plan to go to college someday?
Oh, absolutely. Nicholas aspires to go to college as well as Joseph. Right now, that is not a possibility for them in their their schedule, but they definitely have it in their scopes to do that. They really want to achieve college, degrees and go on. Nicholas would love.